From Radar Chow, Ryanair 57 Papa Tango, inbound Boombox, passing 240, request 330.
Ryanair 57 Papa Tango, you will not interest my space, so continue on UNICOM 1228 and bye-bye.
1228, Ryanair 57 Papa Tango, buona serata.
Roberto, mi ricevi?
Sì, perfetto, forte e chiaro.
Ah, ok, no, perché prima uno mi diceva che mi sentiva male, allora volevo controllare. Grazie.
Figurati.
Rover Radar, good evening. This is Scandinavian 16908 at Catania. I wonder if you provide ATC service for this airfield.
Negative, sir. Catania is out of my control space. Monitor UNICOM. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're switching over to UNICOM. Scania 1698. Have a good day. Bye.
From Radar, good evening, Cruiser 2659, Naples International Airport, Gate 11, requesting IFR clearance throughout information shuttle.
With 2659, good evening to you. You are cleared to Budapest via bed P7 Golf. Initially 6,000 feet, transponder code 1000, runway 24.
Your destination is filed, runway 24, bed P7 Golf, departure, initial climb 6,000 feet and squawk 1000, with Air 2659.
With 2659, correct. Alitalia 076, turn right, heading 130, right 130.
Turn right 130, Alitalia 076.
Testing. Right, folks, just a minute and 15 seconds to let the countdown run.
Roma Radar, hello, Easy 75 November Kilo, stand 211 in Palermo, request IFR to Gatwick.
Oh, sir, Palermo is out of my control space. Monitor UNICOM, bye-bye.
Ok, thanks.
Vabbè, prima che adesso la gente si abitua al nuovo settore di Roma, dobbiamo fare gli informatori.
Cioè?
Cioè che chiamano da Palermo e non sanno che ormai il settore di Roma controlla solo Roma Centro, Roma Nord, che è il settore centro. Palermo non c'entra più, Catania, la Sicilia, la Sardegna.
Sei diventato egoista, Franco?
Sì, Simon, è stato cambiato il settore, ma per renderlo anche più reale.
Okay, guys, welcome aboard.
Controlla soltanto Roma, Napoli, Pisa, Firenze, in pratica la zona centrale dell'Italia, come nella realtà.
No, vabbè, ma quello non lo metto in dubbio, io parlo solo a livello di, diciamo, utilità, nel senso nel pomeriggio non c'è tutto sto traffico, no.
Okay, we'll turn the controller off just to give you guys an update. So we are sitting at parking bay 105 in Firenze, Florence, Italy, and we are fully loaded, and I'll have more to say about that in a second. But yeah, it's a budget carrier with 189 seats. The fuel we have loaded on, we usually carry an extra hour because we're doing vectors to Copenhagen. It's about a 2-hour flight, and it gets congested at the other end. So I ran my calculator for the departure, and literally it's got to be full thrust and flaps 15 to make this takeoff with the loaded aircraft. And yesterday I did it including the 2,000 kilos of extra fuel for an extra hour of holding in Copenhagen. But today the calculation rejected that weight, maybe because of different conditions, and it's wet today, and it would only accept if it was 1,600 pounds lighter. So I had to remove most of my contingency fuel, so we only have 400 pounds left, and we'll consider whether we can do airborne refueling after we get in the air. But anyway, that's the situation. We are maxing out on this takeoff, at least according to the performance calculators. All right, so we have had our clearance, and I'm just running through the pre-pushback checklist. So, for example, I would like to start my APU, and you notice here I'm turning on the pump, but it's actually not strictly necessary. The APU can run on gravity feed, but just as a matter of an abundance of cautions, some carriers will go ahead and just start one pump, which I have done. And that was the procedure for an NG, but it's not strictly speaking required, but only done out of an abundance of caution. So while we're getting that set up, I am going to I'm just going to go ahead and continue with preparation, and I'm checking a landing altitude in Copenhagen. It's got to be close to 0, right? So we're expecting runway 22 left, and yeah, elevation 8. So the closest for us is 0. So we've closed the doors, and the view in the top right is different today. It is it's actually the tower view, so to see how tight this takeoff is, I thought it'd be fun to do that view as the tower view. And it's going to be lifting off somewhere about right now in this position. So, but we're going to be taxiing out. Hang on, I got to get back to my Firenze. Yeah, so we're going to be, in that view, we're going to be taxiing to the left. So the camera is going to pan along with the aircraft. So that should be fun. Okay, so APU is available. We'll put it on the bus now. And here's another point. Strictly speaking, for longevity of the APU, you should not turn the APU bleed on until a couple of minutes have passed. But and we should normally do that going forward, but today I'm going to go ahead and turn it on right now. So the APU is on the bus, and that means we can turn off. Let's just check. Yep, we can turn off the ground power, and we can also disconnect. Disconnect the power and the air. And we should put those on. We've already boarded all the passengers. We're powered by APU. We've removed the ground equipment. So let's do the before start checklist. And we already have our smart cars running. We'll just verify that. Yeah, it's running. And flight deck door is closed. Fuel, like I said, we're 1,600 short of what our plan was. I might put it back once we're airborne. We'll see. Windows are locked. MCP is set. Takeoff speed have been set. And TDU pre-flight completed. And the trim has been set. And taxiing, you know, it's a small airfield. We're going to be, you can see where we are, we're going to be taxiing out and then backtracking down the runway to holding point runway 23 for that takeoff. So like I said, it's full thrust, no derates, no assumed temperature, and flaps 15. And to boot, the departure procedure is going to require that we maintain 210 knots. Which is probably going to require at least flaps 1, if not more. So we can't be clean for a while until we get to past Romeo Quebec 607 at least. Okay. You also notice that for that takeoff roll, I have this view configured, so you can see the bottom right, some of the instruments. I'm not sure how clear that comes up, but that's going to be fun just to leave it on that view. Full frame rather than this view, just so you can see the actual aircraft bigger for the takeoff. I just got to remember to switch those things around. Okay, so passenger signs are on, MCP takeoff speed set, all that's done, anti-collision lights on. Okay, before start checklist is complete. So let's get the control tower back on.
Radar, good evening. Wizard 41 at Napoli, stand 55, requesting IFR for clearance to Budapest with information, Charlie.
With 2659 contact tower. Frequency standby.
Roma Control, good evening. It's helicopter, India, Hotel, Echo, Lima, India.
With 2659 contact tower, frequency 118.5, ciao.
Roma Radar, Europa 838 in Firenze is ready for push and start.
Europa 838, start and push, approved, QNH 1016.
Good evening.
Push and start approved, QNH 1016, Europa 838. Okay, so we've got, let's call for the push.
Station calling in Napoli. Please contact tower, frequency 118.5. Now is online. See you later.
Right, the stroke has been in the second.
Italia 076, clear to land. Wind 150,
Hey, Adars.
10 knots.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that you've heard, but we're very, very at the bleeding edge of maximum weight for this departure from Florence.
Departure check completed.
Should be fun. So I'm going to be pushing back, I guess, facing left. Okay. Okay, here comes the push truck.
Locking gear.
So our scheduled departure time was 16:30 Zulu. We're just a couple of minutes late.
On radar, good evening. Turkish 134 for level 347.
Good evening, Turkish 134 radar contact. Fly direct to Abidu, Alpha Bravo
Parking
India
brakes released.
Delta Uniform, Abidu.
All engines clear. Started with
Direct Abidu.
Okay, let's get all the pumps on, and we'll start engine number 2. All right. So that was 16:32. Only 2 minutes late. Sad to leave Florence. Motoring 22, 23, 24, and 25% fuel flow on. So we're set up for departure runway 23. So that's at the other end. So we're gonna have to taxi out and backtrack on the runway.
Dolomiti to Juliet Alpha, ciao, good evening, radar contact. Flight to Beten.
Parking brake set.
unlocking gear.
Direct Beten, Dolomiti to Juliet Alpha.
So that view in the top right is your outside view, and for the actual takeoff, I'm going to give you this view. So you get some instruments and the tower view for the takeoff. That's my plan. I hope I don't mess it up. So in this view on the top right, that is also the tower view. Okay, engine 2 started cut out. Let's start engine number 2. Sorry, engine number 1. Thank you. Into rising.
France Soleil 388, flight level 370.
France Soleil, monitor Unicom, you are out of my control space, bye-bye.
Monitor Unicom, France Soleil 388, thanks.
Motoring 21%. Thank you, sir. Okay, fuel flow on. Into climbing. Okay, guys, this is going to be a nice and crazy one. And takeoff to maximum limits, and then a cruise, and then we come into chaos. That is vectors to Copenhagen.
Copenhagen runway 6 live.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Italia 076, parking at your discretion. Monitor Unicom, bye-bye.
Unicom 122.9, thank you for control, bye-bye. 3 Charlie Fox, ready to the frequency.
Runway 3 Charlie Foxtrot, you are on my space, but if you want, monitor Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
Yeah, alright. Apologies flight, leaving frequency, Unicom runway Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, 2 good engine starts.
Ciao.
Engine 2 on the bus, engine 1 on the bus. Get the packs back on. Okay, and checking the source of power. Gen 1, we're good. Gen 2, we're good. So generators are on. We can turn the APU bleed off, and we can turn the APU off. Okay, let's do the flow. Cross feed, bright. dim, bright, off. Okay, and all the fuel pumps on. Center pumps don't need to be on. We had to remove so much fuel that, well, maybe we wouldn't have even needed it. Taxi light on, probe heat on, electrics on, seatbelt signs, emergency exit light, start switches to continuous. All our air is set correctly. Landing altitude, cruise altitude today is flight level 360, but we're 6,000 initially. Okay, all set there. Flaps 15 today. Folks, flaps 15. Okay, fuel flow reset, and we will minimize the engine display. And now we will check the controls. Full right, centered, full left, centered, forward, centered, back, centered.
Guitar 1781.
Rudder left.
Cleared to Palermo.
Rudder right.
Showsack 5 Alpha. Transition PEPIX 9 Bravo.
Okay.
Initially 4000. Transponder 5572. Runway 25.
Okay. We're ready.
1781, correct. Air Italia 2121, you are leaving my space. Monitor Unicom. Ciao Simon, alle prossime.
Switching to Unicom 1228, Air Italia 2121. Ciao Franco, grazie.
Before taxi checklist, let's go for that. Generators are on, probe heat are on, anti-ice not needed, isolation valves are on auto, engine start switches to continuous, recall checked, and auto brakes set to RTO, engine start levers idle, detent, flight controls checked, and ground equipment clear before taxi checklist complete. Roma radar, Europa 838 at Firenze is ready for taxi.
Europa 838, taxiing and backtrack approved. Report ready for departure.
Roger, backtrack approved. Europa 838 will inform when ready for departure. Okay.
Dolomiti to Juliet Alpha, leaving in my space.
Victor,
Monitor
okay.
Unicom. Bye bye.
Okay, parking brakes off.
Unicom to simulate Dolomiti to Juliet Alpha.
So here we go.
Ciao.
I learned something about the MAX by watching a YouTuber who is actually a captain, Flightdeck to Sim, I think. And he says that the engines on the MAX are so strong that as soon as you release the brakes, you'll start moving. And that doesn't happen in my Sim. Maybe that's something a future software update is going to fix. Alright, we'll be going on the runway, so we'll put the strobes on.
Transponder 5552, runway 25.
Cliff to Ascent, Showsack 5 Alpha, PEPIX 9 Bravo, transition. Initially climb 4000, squawk 5552, and runway 25, Clipper 110.
Clipper 110, correct.
5. Caution, short runway, short runway.
So that's us getting on the runway, and we have to backtrack to the end. So we'll turn at Kilo and then hold at Papa. So let's see what that's about the size of the aircraft when we lift off. So I think that should be a good size. I don't know what you can see with the instrument view,
05.
but hopefully.
Caution, short runway, short runway.
Come on, let's put on a little bit of juice. So because it's a tight climb, we're restricted to 210 knots,
we are passing 1,800 feet, climbing 6,000
we will need to maintain flaps for a while before we clean
Good
up.
evening, Wizz Air 41, radar contact, climb flight level 360.
Climbing flight level 360, Wizz Air 41.
Guitar 1781, start approved, QNH 1016.
Looks like snow. So we might as well get ready, get the weather and terrain on, and strobes are on. TCAS is on. Okay, we've done everything required by the performance calculator. We threw out 1,600 out of our contingency 2,000 fuel to be able to get under the weight, which allowed the calculator to give us the go-ahead for a departure using full thrust and flaps 15. So truly maxing out, but you know there's a little bit of conservatism built into these calculators, so I hope there should be no issues for us to depart. So we have Roma Radar controlling us today. I really wasn't expecting to get ATC. Cockpit view is better, really? You mean this one? With the... Okay, let's go. Let's hold here now. You don't want the full view? Just leave it like that? Okay. All right. Roma Radar, Europa 838 is ready for departure, runway 23, Firenze.
Europa 838, cleared for takeoff, wind 090, 5 knots.
Roger, clear for takeoff, Europa 838. Okay, so I'm getting my departures lined up here. Let's do it. Okay, Victor?
Approaching 2, 3. Caution, short runway, short runway.
We are going to hold on to our brakes until we've spooled up to 40%. Okay, we'll leave it at this view, Adash, just for you. Just for you. Okay.
On runway 2, 3.
Let's hold it right here.
Caution, short runway.
Okay,
short
let's
runway.
do it. So we're gonna go flaps. 40% N1, and then toga and release brakes. Spooling up. %, stable toga, releasing the brakes. Forward pressure on the yoke. We got max throttle, man. I can feel this.
1781, taxi via Echo Delta. Echo Alpha.
Only 5,100 foot runway.
November Golf.
Okay, release forward pressure.
Remaining.
Rotate.
2,000 remaining.
Positive rate, gear up.
Caution, short runway, short runway.
Okay, let's get command A. We just made that, right? Well, it was all calculated. So
Europa 838, radar contact, climb flight level 360.
okay, climb flight level 360, Europa 838. Okay. Flaps 1. Yeah, this is where we need to hold the speed. Wow. That was fun though. That was fun. Okay, let's get, I want to make this view now back to the aircraft view. Oh, I can't even see the plane. Okay, I don't even know. Okay, we'll do the after takeoff checklist as soon as we, oh, he said cleared flight level 360.
Control,
okay, flaps up.
Good afternoon, Liridia 161, currently at flight level 326.
Larry 161, good evening to you, radar contact. Fly to Ritab 3 Alpha arrival, ILS 16 left. Descend flight level 170.
So cleared for the Ritab 3 Alpha approach via ILS 16 left, expecting ILS 16 left and descending flight level 170, Liridia 161.
Radar, buonasera, l'Italia 880 video 360, ciao Franco.
It actually still should be flaps 1.
Ciao, Italia 880, you are out of my control space.
I'm going to put it back to flaps 1. That was an incorrect assumption. That's the 210 knots.
Adesso Roma Nord controlla solo il centro Italia.
Oh, pardon Franco, no.
Yeah, we have to maintain that until Romeo Quebec 607.
Ti vedo fino a Sardegna e Sicilia compreso. Va bene, terrò a mente. Grazie ancora, Unicom 128, l'Italia 880. Ciao Franco.
Ciao, credo che lo modificheranno a breve quelle mappe perché sono ancora vecchie.
Okay, now I know what that view is looking like. It was so dense that I couldn't figure out what view that was.
D'accordo, grazie ancora, terrò a mente. Ciao di nuovo.
Ciao.
Oh, there we go. That's the outside view. Okay, we can let folks out of their seats.
ITAR 1781 cleared for takeoff. Wind 140 9 knots.
After Romeo Quebec, we can continue. to increase our speed.
Europa 838, monitor Unicom 1228, bye-bye.
1228, Europa 838, thanks for your help, good night.
Bye.
Let's see, 122.8. Thank you, Roma Radar. Okay, we're switching over to Unicom. After I do this fuel check here, I will check, give us a big picture of, oh, yeah, so the flaps should be retracted after the next waypoint. Romeo Quebec 607, you see it's got a 210 on there, that's the speed, and 210 is lower than our clean, flaps clean, so once we round this corner and we can increase our speed, we will go flaps up. So now we can go flaps up. Flaps up. I prematurely went flaps up earlier, and even though I knew that we had this situation coming up. So now I can do my after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds are on and packs are on auto. Landing gear is up and flaps are up and no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. We have let the passengers out of their seats and we've turned start switches to auto. So we are pretty good there, and what I'm going to do now is just take a look at big picture on VATScope and see what ATC is around. So we are in Firenze, and it looks like, based on our path so far, geography right. Okay, there it is. Okay, so there is Copenhagen approach and control is up, but so far nothing else in between. So we might have a cruise without much ATC for a bit before. Let me see, I think the event starts at 17, yeah, I think it's 1700. Let's check that. Events, vectors to Copenhagen, yeah, 1700 Zulu to 2000 Zulu. And so really it hasn't yet quite started. It starts in 5 minutes, the event. Anyway, I think we're okay for now. And let's do the fuel check at Omaku. Wow. Omaku. Omaku was 6.3. Wow. See, that's 1,000 kilos less. Maybe because of the full thrust takeoff, consuming a lot of fuel. And then on top of that, we eliminated some of our fuel. And I tell you, I did the calculation last night specifically to avoid this kind of situation where I thought a fully configured aircraft with residual extra fuel, I ran it on the performance tool and it was fine yesterday, but today it wasn't fine. And you can see we were pretty much at the end of the runway for the takeoff, and it wouldn't have been fine. So we had to remove 1,600 kilos of fuel before our departure. But honestly, I think I'm considering putting it back in the aircraft because sometimes you have long holding patterns in Copenhagen that actually require, that's why standard procedure for me is 1 hour extra fuel. So I think I'm going to put that back into the tanks after we get to cruise altitude. And I know that's kind of cheating, but I think in the real world we would have rerun the flight plan, and I just want to track to a flight plan that, you know, that is using the same assumptions. And now I've got different assumptions. I've got my flight plan, which is based on 1,600 pounds fuel more, and then the actual aircraft, which is 1,600 pounds less. So I don't like that. So I'm probably going to do some airborne refueling with 1,600 kilos. I was hoping that, you know, sometimes I accumulate fuel and that would be enough. And possibly it might still be enough. Maybe I should just wait until a little bit later in the flight to see if it's required. But right now we're short by 1,000 kilos. And our cruise altitude was flight level 360. I don't know if we can get better than that, which would help us recover some fuel. And yeah, we could do 380. We could do 380. That might be helpful. So why don't we do 380? Alright, let's continue the climb to 380. So VNAV 380. Execute. And I'm going to dial this up to 380. That's 380. So 380, 380, and 380. There's only UNICOM, so nobody to inform. Although I could inform them. UNICOM traffic, Europa 838, inbound waypoint Breno, 143 miles, climbing through flight level 277 for amended cruise altitude 380. Europa 838. So you didn't like this view, huh? See how bad that is. It's difficult to see, right? It's still small. If it was the actual instruments, it might be helpful. Okay, so some big picture information. We'll put our entire flight plan on the screen, and there you have it. We're at the bottom and we're traveling to Copenhagen, Denmark, at the top, and that is 687 miles to go, and expected time of arrival is 1840, and it's 1700 now, so we have about an hour and 40 minutes to go. And we've been airborne for 13.5 minutes so far. That's the big picture. So fuel consumption decreases with height. Yes, it does. It does. You consume less. And in fact, let me see if we can actually see that happening as we climb. So here's our fuel burn now is 1.48, so 1,480 kilos per hour per engine. I'm not sure if you can tell it like this, but if we had leveled out at flight level 360 and then checked the fuel burn, now you can see it's going down. It's it's now 1.44. So it is reflected. Yeah, now it's 1.44, 43, now 42. So yeah, so as you go higher, there's less friction, and it's just a known thing that you consume less when you go higher. So if I'm close to being overweight for my landing weight, I might go lower just to, you know, burn more fuel. And worst case scenario, I've done it before. I've requested ATC for me to go in a holding pattern for 20 minutes just to burn off some fuel. Then you have to calculate, well, how much holding do you have to do to burn off the desired amount of fuel. So, yep, see, in the time we've talked, it's now gone down to 1.36 per engine. Okay. Yeah, I get it, I get it. Does that include this view? Yeah. And also this one. So I try to switch between this and this. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Adarsh, I mean, I don't blame you. That's the best way to do it. Have you seen the iFly 737 MAX? They've, a lot of people have been testing the release candidate for iFly 737 MAX, and it looks really, really good. It really looks good. I mean, I've got a MAX Sim, but you know, I'm thinking, wow, I wish I had a desktop Sim because then I could run that. I think it's very detailed and it looks like it's got everything I have. But then you can also walk into the cabin. You can open the lid in the toilets. You can open the baggage compartments. You can open the tray in front of your seat. It's definitely, it looks really solid. And I think it's going to be released. They don't have a release date yet. And it's a bit confusing to think about. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is coming around the corner, so are they going to release it for that or for 2020? Not sure, but they've been testing it in 2020 and it looks really, really good. I would recommend watching the test runs by Flightdeck 2 Sim. That's Flightdeck spelled out, and then 2 is the number 2, and then Sim. He is a real captain for a real airline, and he's flown 737s much of his career, but he's also more recently flown Maxes, and he's now not only an instructor but also an examiner. So he's like the maximum level in the flight team. And so he's doing the test and he's pointing out what's working and what's not working in the sim. Highly recommended, and you can get a good demo of the iFly. So I would strongly recommend that you consider purchasing iFly once it's available. Okay, we're reaching our top of climb, and our fuel flow, by the way, is now down to 1,090 kilos per hour per engine, but we haven't even throttled back for the cruise yet. So we could actually do another fuel check at BOA 6.1. Yeah, we're still 1,000 under. I mean, we've got 1,000 kilos less. Oh, wait a minute. We've got 1,000 less than the plan because we removed the 1,600 1,600 kilos out of the tanks. So the fact that we're 1,000 under means that we're actually 600 over if we had the right amount of fuel. So actually, yeah. Yep, I forgot about that. It's comparing apples to oranges. So anyway, good to know that we're actually accumulating some fuel. Okay, it looks like we are going to pass through Austrian airspace and they are up. So who is this? Wein Radar. Wein Radar. 132.6. So you can see there, Wein Radar. We're not there yet. Let's check where we would come in. Yeah, Wein for, so it's going to be at Brno. So when we are about maybe 20-30 miles from Brno, we can try to raise him. Right now we are 70 miles away from Brno. Okay. Okay. So I'm retired now, but I was doing all computers. My whole career has been around computers. Originally it was computer graphics, and then it became, network systems and a whole bunch of infrastructure software. So that was the latest bunch. Basically, I worked for an IT company until about a year and a half ago, and now I'm retired. So yeah, and I was in management, so I'm not really technical on that front, more management, but yeah. Okay, awesome stuff. And there's an aircraft to our right, but to our left, but we're not going to see it. It's too far away. It's 40-mile band, so that's at least 30 miles away to our left. Okay, I'll take a look out my left side, but I don't think I can see it. Really, it has to be between 10 and no more than 12 miles away for you to be able to see it in the sim. But we're crossing a very mountainous part of, let me just qualify that statement. Yeah, so it's the Alps basically that we're starting to cross. And we are actually going to pass by Innsbruck. So you see right above Brno is Lowy, and that's Innsbruck in that valley. I'm lucky I don't have to land there. So it's Wein Radar that we're going to raise shortly, unless he raises me first. Yeah, so looking at our burn right now is 780 kilograms. It's from like 720 to 750 kilograms an hour per engine. That's how efficient we're burning now. Well, you know, the aircraft knowledge is all self-taught. I mean, I learned it outside of my work, and but I definitely had the help of some very smart people. And actually, you know, I've mentioned several of my sim buddies are actually involved in careers in aviation, including 777 captain. But there's also another guy who I used to fly a lot with, who taught me a lot, who is still my friend, but he just doesn't sim anymore. But he's an instructor for 737, in fact 737 MAX sim instructor for a major airline in Asia. And so, you know, I've sent him some of my videos and asked him to critique them. And I've actually, once I complete my sim build, I've asked him to come over and teach me how to fly dual cockpit. So I'm looking forward to that. So it hasn't happened just out in a vacuum. I mean, it's been years and years of flight simming. So, yeah. Get Wein radar again. Wein radar 132.6. Okay. Yep. Ready. We'll call him at 20 miles from Brno.
Easy 39 Papa Delta, contact Budapest, 120, decimal 375, goodbye.
Budapest, say again, frequency please, EC 39 Papa Delta.
Easy 39 Papa Delta, 120, decimal 375.
120, decimal 375, EC 39 Papa Delta, sounds good, ATC, fine.
Wein radar, good evening. Europa 838 is 20 miles inbound, waypoint Brno, flight level 380.
Europa 838, Wein radar, hello. You're outside of my airspace, and in fact, on today's flight you will not cross my airspace. Revert back to UNICOM 122, decimal 8, enjoy flight.
Roger, thank you so much, Europa 838.
Wein radar, servus, Austrian 5 Uniform, climbing
okay, it looks like I passed through his space, and in fact, even on the flight plan, it shows that. Yeah, let me show you. Even on the flight plan, it shows that Wein. See, where is it? It's Copenhagen. Yeah, Wein for. But it's like then we go into Rhine very quickly. So technically we're in his space for about 30 miles, and that's it. Okay, no problem. All right, coming up to Brno. Let's check our fuel situation. Hopefully we've gained some. We're good. We're higher level. Hopefully we have accumulating. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be accumulating. Hey, ATC Swede. Good day. How are you doing? Be sure to watch back the beginning of this flight because it was pretty exciting. I actually did the flight planning for the departure from Florence last night just to make sure we could do it with a full load of passengers on a MAX 8, 195 souls on board. And it worked out with contingency fuel for Copenhagen. We could take off flaps 15, full thrust, no assumed temperature. And but today, when I was on the apron, using the calculator, it said no can do. And I was 1,600 pounds over what it would allow me to do. So I actually, that 1,600, I had 2,000 contingency fuel, so I had to remove 1,600. So I'm only left with 400 kilos of contingency fuel, and sometimes that can be an issue at Copenhagen. But we're now cruising at a higher altitude, so we are being more efficient, and we're gaining back. So, in fact, 5.5, yeah. So 5.5. So we're only based on the plan, we're only short 900 kilos. From my original plan, which included the 2,000 extra. So and the last check, it was 1,000 under, and now it's 900 under, so we're gaining back. Anyway, my friend, how are you doing? You know, you and Adarsh, who is also on the stream right now, want to help me on a Discord, and I would like to do that. But I need your contact information, which you can give me separately, because I have to send you my checklist. That's going to be the first. We're going to have to establish that we can get on voice on Discord, and then we're going to have to, practice with the checklist. So, yeah, definitely you should. Definitely you should. So Adarsh and ATC Speed, send me an email. I think you can just DM me, right, based on my my handle, YouTube handle. Let me know if that's an issue. But what I have is I have a photograph. What I did was I found a 737 NG 800 checklist. And I have slightly modified it, but I did it manual modification. So I can send you the original file, but I'll send you a photograph of what my checklist looks like now after some mods. So you can see I've yellowed up a little bit, not much, but this is the checklist I want to send you. I'll send you the original file and then also a photograph of the mods that I made to it. All right, good. And the other thing is, ATC Suite, I really want to let you do radios as well, as a first officer, virtual first officer. But the problem is, you know, how are you going to be able to tell our aircraft information to the controller when there is about a 20-second lag between the stream and us talking? You'll find that if you get on Discord with me, we are doing things and it's only showing up 20 seconds later on the stream. So while we can do checklists, that works because I can just tell me, read me the checklist. Talking on the radio is a little bit different. The other problem with talking on the radio to controllers is that VATSIM is location dependent. So, if an ATC controller is located in a certain location and you're in an aircraft, it takes into consideration the distance between you, how well the signal is going to carry. So, for example, UNICOM has got a very short range. So if you're sitting far away from my plane and logging in, you might not be able to talk to anybody on UNICOM. So that's another issue that I want you to think about, because if you can solve that issue, one way would be for you to fly to Northern Virginia and just sit in my sim. But think about that. I know the checklist is going to be fine. We can do that. There's no problem there. The slight twist is that, normally on a checklist, there are checklist items for both pilots. But this is simplified. It'll be you reading the checklist and me confirming the checklist. So, but, that's nice. We keep you busy for the departure and climb and top of descent, and descent into finally the landing checklist. Something fun to do. So you guys are the guinea pigs to try this out, even for the checklist, because I am going to do a little bit of a competition for like if somebody to generate more subscription to my channel, I'm going to reward folks who help publicize my channel. And I think the way I'm going to do it is just send me a screenshot of you either posting about my channel on your social media and giving people the link to my channel. I can't force you to force them to join. I don't want to do that. But just to show that you tried to post it on your own social media, or even just an email to 3 friends and saying, hey, check this guy's thing out, think about subscribing, it's really cool, something like that. And then just send me a screenshot of the email. And then I'm going to have 3 winners. You guys are lucky, you're getting in on the ground floor, so you don't need to win anything. I'm going to give it to you too. But others will have to send me their screenshots, and then it'll go into a draw. And I want to do this, the draw, at the end of the year. But folks can be sending me evidence, as they are making their posts and messages to friends. And then we'll pick the final winners at the end of the year. Possibly there'll be a giveaway for the grand prize winner, maybe flight sim software or something. But the others will get access to my private Discord server to be able to chat with me in voice during a flight. Look at this, there's a whole bunch of people flying around. Okay, so you have done dual flight deck as a second officer and it worked fine. I would love to visit you in Virginia. I have told everybody about you. Okay. But when you say you've done dual flight deck as a second officer and it worked fine, exactly how were you doing that? Were you just on Discord, or do you have some tool that you're using for dual flight deck? How are you doing that? Are you just doing it on Discord and nothing special? No special setup? Okay, there's a lot of aircraft lower than me, and I'm just checking where this is. Okay, we already passed Innsbruck. don't think we're at risk of coming into any ATC at the moment, but we will write down the fuel check Conan 9.3. What runway? You know, it's gonna be either 22 left or 4 left, but let me check. Let's see what the latest is. Okay, the 8 is arrival 22 left. Okay, so I actually have that plan down here, 22 left. So thanks for asking. So 22 left, there is a holding point that is, you know, not infrequently utilized. Code Charlie Delta Alpha, and I've gone into holding patterns there for vectors to Copenhagen a couple of times. So if it happens, it's going to happen there. Top of descent is in 329 miles, and it's gonna be 1812 when we get there. So 1812 in about 43 minutes. So I guess I could start planning for the arrival. Okay, first and foremost, let's punch in the ILS 22 left frequencies. 109.5, 109.5, and the course is going to be 217. That's UNICOM. Okay, we got the courses. And the ILS. Okay, so the ILS intercept is going to be 3,000. Missed approach is going to be 3,000. My parking at Copenhagen, I will give them my available options, although they can give me anything they want. Alpha 17, 21, 22, and 23. That's all in the alpha area, and I think it's for non-usual carriers like Air Europa. The usual, right. Okay, what is minimum at the time of approach? Oh, minimums. Minimums means that that's the altitude by which, as you are descending, the altitude by which you should have visual contact with the landing runway. If you can't see the runway when you descend through the minimums, you have to go around. So that's the importance of the minimums. And in fact, that minimums was on the chart, and I didn't read it out, but it's decision height, 108 feet. That's very low. Let's see. I'll be more conservative and use the higher one. So straight in ILS 208. Okay, I'll make that 208. Closest is 210. So that's already very low, and that's barometric altitude. So that is only 200 feet. Okay. Landing configuration. That would really depend on are we going to do airborne refueling or not. Let's try not to do airborne refueling. And we'll declare an emergency if we are below minimums. Well, like I said before, let's just try and see what happens. So Adarsh, did you get that? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we'll step through the arrivals and check for the procedures. We mentioned Codan, and we'll see that there. We log into VATSIM and log the things. Oh, hang on. We log into VATSIM and log the same flight. There is a special function you can click on saying share flight deck. Really? I mean, can I do that, or do you have to be ATC? Oh, hang on. It looks like I've got some controller trying to raise me. Okay. 133565.
Ryanair 5, Alpha Delta identified.
Okay. Control Europa 838, level at flight level 380.
Europa 838, Munchen Radar identified. Proceed direct, MONAK.
Proceed direct, MONAK. Europa 838. Direct MONAK. Okay. That is the namesake of the arrivals procedure for us. Now that is going to result in...
One to Echo, you're leaving my airspace, monitor UNICOM 122, that's my intro.
So that's Munchen Radar.
Yep.
Yeah, Munchen Radar. Munchen Radar. 133.565. Actually, I'm very curious about things related to aviation. That's why I keep on firing so many questions. No, absolutely. This is all the fun of it, right? Absolutely. there's a special, okay, so on the log, same flight, there is a special function you can click on saying share flight deck in VATSIM. Yeah, that's something you can do, right? That's not what I can do. So, I mean, if you have the power to do that, that's great. But you won't be able to see, like you're saying, inbound waypoint such and such. You won't, if you look just through my stream, you're not going to get the latest information because we are 20 seconds behind on the screen, on the stream. But maybe if that doesn't matter, you can get close enough, inbound waypoint such and such. Maybe that would work. Or maybe when you have that access, you can actually tell my position from scopes that controllers have access to. Okay, so we're inbound MONAK now, and I'm going to look at the plan. Yeah, we cut out a lot. I'll show you how we cut out so many steps. So we're going now direct from where we are all the way to MONAK. So we cut out all those steps along the way.
I'm now level 350. And for information, don't climb without instruction.
Okay, sorry about that. 350, going to 8 now, thank you.
Okay, we're in his space now. Yeah, I have a problem in my sim now that those alerts, you know, when an ATC calls you, I don't get them. So now what I've resorted to is I actually put my VATSIM vPilot client on my external view, but it's up high, so you can't see it in the window. You just don't see it. And then that way at least I have a visual indication that somebody tried to contact me. But again, I don't know how long I didn't respond to him. Probably not so long. Dietmar Brinschwitz. Oh, okay, I'm somebody who's ahead of me. Okay, passing to the left.
Turkish 1529, contact line, radar frequency 124.73.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turkish 1529, contact Langen, radar frequency 124.73.
Say again, after 124?
73.
Decimal 7. Schönen Abend.
Ciao.
Clear of conflict. So somebody was to my left. Let me see if I can see them. I don't see anybody to my left. So now I'm going to have to get a Sweden scenery. What would you recommend is the best single scenery? I mean, what is
Munich, good evening.
Gardermoen, right? That's the main one.
This is 7 Delta Quebec identified level 350.
Okay, so if this is Wein radar.
Last station calling, sorry I'm not in my airspace. UNICOM.
Okay, Wein, yeah, okay. Well, there's actually Vienna and Rhine, so yeah, okay.
Austrian 240, Munchen Radar, good Abend. I identified climb flight level 290.
Sounds like we're going to be in airspace until we get to Copenhagen. Okay, Codan 5.3. Yeah, we got that already. So they're projecting me to have 3.4 tons of fuel at MONAK, but I'm sure that's not right, and it's going to increase. MONAK is supposed to have 4.7, so I'm going to guess it's going to be much more like 4 tons at MONAK is what I'm thinking I'm going to have, which is still a little bit short. Yep, that's what I found too. ATC simulator for practice. Wow. Okay, I'm going to write down those suggestions. I used P3D scenery, so it has to work for that. And Stockholm, Arlanda.
Information at your 11 log position, unknown traffic, climbing and descending, so ignore him.
That's copy to touristic 1 hotel.
Okay, what am I going to assume? Right now I'm 900 under. So I'm going to say I'm going to be 700 under for the landing.
Kilo Echo Romeo Alpha X-ray.
Okay, so let me do my calculator for landing. So it's going to be landing en route at EKCH runway 22 left.
Ryanair 5 Alpha Delta, you're leaving monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8 job.
Unicom on 122 decimal 80 for Ryanair 5
Flaps 30 and the landing weight should be less 700, so it's going to be 67.3.
1 hotel, contact Langen Radar, frequency 124.73.
Touristic 1 hotel, Langen 124.730, danke, job.
Alright, assuming I don't add fuel, keeping it real.
Control.
Okay, so
Control
landing.
Emirates 41 with you, level 360, inbound rapid.
Emirates 41, Munchen Radar, schönen guten Abend, identified 360.
Okay, so I'm doing my landing calculations now. And it looks like, where should I vacate? In Copenhagen, 22 left. They usually want you to get off as soon as you can. So if I could do Bravo 4, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, it's going to be Bravo 3. I can't do Bravo 5. So let's see what the diagram shows. This Bravo 4, I'd have to go max auto. If it's Bravo 3, I could do auto brakes 2. Bravo 3. I'm gonna go for Bravo 3 because max auto is not something that's usually you would do. Yeah, so I'm gonna do auto brakes 2. And flaps 3, so, and my weight is going to be 700 pounds less, 700 kilos less than the planned landing weight, so it should be 67.3. Yep. So 67.3, flaps 30, 147 knots plus 5. So 152 knots for the landing.
Mention Justin Athens, 874 Bravo at flight level 370, direct to Lisa.
Check it out, yep. ATC Suite, controller in real life. And that's a really good sim game.
Quality 8 Tango Yankee, you're leaving monitor Unicom to this way, Joe.
What to do to simulate, Joe?
Okay, stepping through, well, let me actually do a quick look at where I am. Okay, so we're still nowhere near Copenhagen space. We're right in the middle of
Munchen. Hello, U-Wings, 2 November, Flight 340 inbound route now.
So we'll step through the arrivals.
Munchen Radar, Servus, Direction your wings 86, Mike Yankee, passing level 273, climbing and inbound route now.
First point in the arrivals is MONAK. No specific restrictions.
Level 320.
Then it's going to be Codan, where we would do a hold. Charlie Delta Alpha. If we're doing a hold, we usually be at like flight level 200.
Torrance 163 identified.
Then NEKSO, that's your exit point and where you should head after the hold if you're going to hold. But you go to NEKSO anyway, even if there's no hold. And it's 250 knots. Okay. After that, it's Charlie Hotel 643 at or below 9,000. And then Charlie Hotel 363, no restrictions. 630, no restrictions. 625, no restrictions. And then Adobe 220 knots at or below 4,000. Okay, that all checks out. Then I'll get vectors.
Outstand 240, you're leaving monitor Unicom onto route to my job.
Vectors to
yes, I send it you to Unicom.
Vectors to Charlie India 22 left, and where we will be at or above 3,000 feet.
37 Romeo Victor identified.
Actually, I don't know why it's not at here. It says at or above, so I'm going to change that to 3,000 feet in my computer.
Munchen Radar, hello,
okay.
6 Echo Charlie is with you on the frequency, flight level 380.
6 Echo Charlie,
1600.
380, proceed direct MONAK.
And then
direct MONAK, full 6 Echo
touchdown.
Charlie.
the event of a missed approach, we'll climb straight ahead to 500 feet.
Oh, hello, Air Baltic 3, sorry, I can't again.
Or 1 mile from OXS, whichever is later, or after OXSDME, whichever is later, then turn left 187 degrees climbing to 3000 and inform ATC. Okay, so we're not even given a holding waypoint, but probably you go back to Codan. Yep, most likely. Alright, I did a missed approach in Copenhagen before. It was a nightmare. I still haven't practiced how to do a proper missed approach. The last one I did was not in Copenhagen, and I did it manually, completely, rather than hitting toga button. Alright, we're set up for that, and now the next thing I need to do...
Good evening,
looking for what ATC I'm gonna get.
Alpha Hotel, I have identified...
How can I support you financially beyond likes and subscriptions? Oh man, you really want to do that? You know, yeah, send me something. I don't know how you do that. I mean, I guess you could Venmo, or do you have Venmo in Sweden? I'll work it out. I don't have a Venmo, but I think my wife has one. You know, I would put it, you know, if you that'd be great. Any contribution would be gratefully received. I would put it back into my Sim stuff.
7 Mike November, timing level 380 to Clemens.
You know, I've got a lot of my equipment that I need to continue my build already in place. But
Mike November, I identified
it could go towards you know, another desktop sim, which I've been wanting to get. So I can do both real cockpit and virtual cockpit. There's going to be a point where I do need to purchase another set of pedals. I've got 2 sets of pedals, but the precision flight controls one I'm using, I'm not intending on having it in final place. So I've got another brand that actually comes from Turkey that I'm thinking of installing. I've got the other yoke, but I don't have the other pedal yet. Anyway, you know, I'll think about it. I mean, definitely, I would probably receive a contribution if you're offering just to support the sim. Yeah, it'll all be plowed back into the sim for sure. Okay, I'm just catching up with you guys.
Europa 838, you're leaving monitor Unicom to this way, ciao.
Roger, over to Unicom, Europa 838. Thanks for your help. Good night. Am I already out of his airspace? Yes, I am. Okay. So what am I expecting next? Most likely it's going to be Copenhagen Control East 123.73. That's what I'm expecting. Copenhagen East. Copenhagen Control. 123.730. Okay. All right, let me research it and I'll let you know. Yeah, it would be either, I don't know. I have never thought of this, but it maybe a Venmo or a GoFundMe or something. I'll get back to you. Awesome. Remember, you gotta send me your email so that I can send you my checklist, and then we can communicate via email. Thank you very much for your attempts to support me. Okay, so we've already put down Copenhagen East Control. I'm expecting that to be next, so I'm putting it on the standby. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 7, 3. And what else do we have? Wow, we have this 80 arrivals coming into Copenhagen. 80, 82. It's gonna be a nightmare, and I hope I have enough fuel. Okay, let's start from the ground and work backwards. We have approach, departure, approach, tower, ground. Okay, so ground is 121.630. And then tower is an approach tower and a departure. So I'm guessing we're approach, which will be 118.105 is approach. Sorry, no, tower. Sorry, tower. And approach, for approach, that would be, it's Castrop final. .205. Mentoring. Okay, so it's not going to be that one. Copenhagen approach. It's going to be 118.455. But you don't always get what you think you're going to get as far as frequencies, but at least I'd like to write them down so I can quickly glance over and see what's happening. But the next one should be 123. 123.73. Let's just pop it over to that right now. All right. That's awesome stuff. I'm trying to look up, maybe I can see a picture of what my sim actually looks like right now. When you take a wide view.
079, contact Copenhagen 136.485. Bye bye.
136.485, maybe 7009.
Here's a picture of my sim. So, you know, what you don't see in the stream is the pedestal on the bottom, and you don't see the full forward or main overhead panel, and the aft overhead panel you don't see either.
Air Portugal 752, contact approach 11.805.
Then on the throttle quadrant, you know, you don't see the wheels turning. You can hear them turning when the aircraft is automatically trimming. You can hear them turning, but you can't see them. So that's what the sim looks like right now, and I haven't got any of the liners put in yet, but I do have liners that I'm working on. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And you know, it's all in a shell. Let me see if I can find a picture with the shell as well. Yeah, here's a picture with the shell. So it's a full-size
Copenhagen Control,
cockpit,
Lufthansa 7, Charlie Foxtrot,
8 feet wide, and I have also the fuse panels that will block off this big hole. A shorter, narrower panel behind the captain, and a wider one behind the first officer. And the overhead panels, they swing down just like the real thing.
Bye-bye.
Over to Copenhagen on 136.485, Lufthansa 5, correction 7, Charlie Foxtrot. Thank you and bye-bye.
Yeah, it wasn't plug and play as plug and play as I hoped. A lot of wiring was involved in me putting the sim together. I had to drill holes in the roof of my cockpit shell to fasten these boards, and that was painful to drill holes and everything. But yeah, there's quite a lot of wiring to do. That overhead is probably the worst job to do to put this sim together. The rest should be not so hard. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, you might have caught a glimpse of me modeling my outfit I was using to go to a wedding. Okay, I see MONAK starting to show up on my screen there. Still a ways away, I think. 130 miles to go. I better get settled in. I need to run the calculator, or did I already do that? I think I already did that, yep. So we were doing auto brakes 2, flaps 30. Roger that. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it being complete. I mean, I've got quite a lot of stuff, hint boxes to add. So, including oxygen mask that you can press the test button and you can hear the sound. And I also have map lights, and the wires are already in place here for the map lights. And I don't have yet, but I need to get a dome light for better illumination in the cockpit. What else do I have? I have a steering tiller that I haven't installed. I'm actually using a music stand, a metal music stand, and it's metal so that my iPad is magnetically held to it, and also I'm using wireless mics that are also magnetically held to the board, and I've got the 2 small keyboards for controlling the 2 machines. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that's what the keyboards look like. And I got my little notebook. So it's all very nice and handy the way it is, but once I install the windows, it's going to be, these things are sticking out the window. and so is the video mixer that's outside. That's also outside the window. So maybe that window I won't close up. But yeah, windows, and of course the 2 other monitors. That's the absolutely next step for this sim, is to unbox my 2 additional 65-inch monitors and set them up. Oh, my top of descent is coming up. Okay, let's dial it down. What's the next restriction gonna be? Maybe 290. Let's see how close I am to ATC. Still nowhere close though. .73. Yep, that's what I'm expecting. But I'm going to be descending before then. Unfortunately, I can't see where I'd cross over into his airspace. Well, I guess I could. Here we go. This is a good look at it. It's going to be NICDA. And NICDA, I'm already going to be very low. It's not even on my plan anymore. But it's before MONAK. I need to dial it down, so I'm just going to dial it down. I'll go down to 200. Flight level 200. ATC suite, you gotta tell me whether this is legit. There's no ATC about, and I need to descend. So I'm going down to flight level 200 because I know that if we have to do a hold, it's usually at 200. So that's the reasoning behind my action. Now the projected fuel at MONAK is 3.9. It's going up. I said that it would be about 4. Yeah, but it's still got 80 something miles. So we're going to have more than 4 tons of fuel remaining at MONAK, which should be good, because what the plan shows at MONAK is 4.7. So then we'd only be 700 short, but instead of being 700 short, because yeah, this plan assumes we had 1,600 more fuel, because we emptied out our reserves a little bit so that we could take off at Florence. I think we'll be fine. By the time we get to the ground, we should have 4,500 pounds of kilos, and we won't quite have that, but we'll have yeah, at least 3,500 kilos on the ground. So I think we'll be fine, even if we have a little bit of a hold. Oh yeah, so okay, here's the logic behind that. And I'm keeping an eye on top of descent, making sure I should descend automatically because I have VNAV path. The logic behind that is that you always want to keep your heading bug lined up to the direction that you're heading. And the reason for that is, at any given moment, an air traffic controller, for spacing or for whatever reason, may ask you to go turn left heading such and such. So immediately I would press the heading select bug, and as soon as I hit the heading select, if I've always been maintaining the heading in the correct location, the aircraft won't make a sudden shift in direction. And then I can start dialing the corrected ATC commanded heading. So that's the reason why you always want to be ready to go manual or go to heading select. And you don't want your aircraft to start turning in a crazy direction because you don't know where the heading bug is. So always try to keep it. And in fact, I don't know, yeah, you can see it here. So you really should head towards the carrot, because that's the direction you have to head so that you can track in the direction of the aircraft. So the bug should really follow that white carrot. But that's a good question. I had the same question when I first started simming. That's amazing, right? So, tell us again, are you an approach controller or are you a tower controller in the real world? Copenhagen Control, Europa 838, inbound MONAK, 50 miles, checking in, descending through flight level 317 for flight level 200.
EKCH 838, Copenhagen Control, hello, wrong frequency, you can contact frequency 119.555.
119.555, Europa 838. 119.555. That wasn't one of the ones that I had. Control, good evening, Europa 838 with you, passing through flight level 300 for flight level 200. We are currently inbound MONAK, 43 miles.
Europa 838, Copenhagen Control, hello, identified, head inbound Copenhagen, MONAK 3 Charlie, landing on day 22 left, descent flight level 200.
Roger, cleared for the MONAK 3 Charlie arrival, ILS 22 left, and descend flight level 200, Europa 838.
Lufthansa 3 Kilo Kilo, contact Copenhagen Airport, frequency 118.455. Have a safe landing, bye-bye.
Very cool, very cool. Tower controller.
Kilo Kilo, have a great night, bye-bye.
Yeah, I took down notes on the other airfields you suggested, so I'll go shopping for the scenery. So now I don't know what he's going to give me next. It could be Copenhagen approach, which is 118455. Okay, 118455. I just put that in standby. And then this final after that. Okay. It helps to write it all down next to me. Okay.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
Okay, MONAK.
Please repeat the fix to hold over for Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
1000.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
Roger, entering the published hold over Charlie Delta Alpha, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Oh, are we holding?
Hello, 838, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha.
Flight level, static flight level 3, 10 sitting for flight level 90.
Europa 838, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
Okay, enter hold at Charlie Delta Alpha as published. Europa 838. Is there altitude for the hold?
Europa 838, expect level 150 in the hold. For now, clearance level is still level 200.
Roger. Expect flight level 150, but current clearance is to 200. Europa 838.
Okay. Eurowings 2780 for
Okay,
Copenhagen.
so
identified jet inbound Copenhagen MONAK 3 Charlie arrival landing runway 22 left. Descent flight level 210.
Descending to flight level 210. Cleared for the...
Okay, we're going to have a hold at Charlie Delta Alpha.
Wait a second.
Which I just
MONAK
punched
3
in.
Charlie arrival for Eurowings 2780.
Lufthansa 824, proceed direct NEKSO, descent flight level 90.
Direct NEKSO, down level 90, Lufthansa 824.
There's the hold at Codan. And the published hold. I'm cleared to 2000 though, so I think I can go to flight level 200. So it should be the hold. Should be inbound 32. And it's a right turn. So let's update that. 32 and a right turn.
Europa 838, descent flight level 170.
Descend flight level 70, Europa 838.
Europa 838, confirm flight level 170.
Oh, apologies. Flight level 170, Europa 838.
Eurowings 2780, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
All right, we're going to do a hold. So exciting.
I'm very sorry, could you please repeat it for Eurowings?
That's what the hold looks like.
Eurowings 2780, please enter the published hold overhead Charlie Delta Alpha.
So the hold is also any speed limit.
Alpha for Eurowings 2780.
I think we should also slow down.
Descent flight level 120.
Continue to descend flight level 120,
Should be no more than 250 knots, I would think. Doesn't actually have a published speed limit.
Europa 838, descent flight level 150.
Descent flight level 150, Europa 838.
Eurowings 2780, descent flight level 170.
Descending to flight level 170 for Eurowings 2780.
Trying to slow down. I think the optimal hold speed is 234 knots and descending to 250.
Speed 250, Lufthansa 824.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, report indicated airspeed.
Indicated as 280 at the moment, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, speed 250 knots, descent flight level 110.
I'll be descending flight level 110 and keep it 250, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Lufthansa 824, contact Copenhagen Airport, frequency 118.455, bye-bye.
Okay, that is the next one.
Approach 118.455, Lufthansa 824, good evening.
I guess I get that frequency once I am released from the hold.
Europa 838, reduce speed 250 knots, descent flight level 120.
Reduce speed to 250 and altitude 120, Europa 838.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, turn right heading 320 degrees.
Right turn heading 320 degrees, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Yeah. Well, good luck with your system. Yeah, traffic is exciting. And holds are good too. Okay, so Codan now. I have 3.8 remaining in Codan. What does the plan say at Codan? .7, and I've got 3.8 right now, and it's probably going to be even less. So that is, let's just say it's going to be 1,000 below. So it's 67. I'm just calculating landing weight. 67.0. Yeah, still the same.
Copenhagen Radar, good day, Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Tango on flight level 250, climb descending flight level 200.
Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Tango, Copenhagen, hello, identified, cleared inbound Copenhagen, MONAK 3 Charlie, arrival, landing runway 22 left, descent flight level 200.
Keep descending to flight level 200, cleared MONAK 3 Charlie arrival on runway 22 left, Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Tango.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie is with you, 240.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, Copenhagen, hello, identified. York State inbound Copenhagen, MONAK 3 Charlie, arrival, landing runway 22 left, descent flight level 180.
Clear to the MONAK 3 Charlie, arrival, runway 22 left, descent 146.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, your readback came in broken, just confirm, and descending level 180.
Descent 180. Bear with while I sort out the thing, 180.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, proceed direct NEKSO, descent flight level 90.
Proceed direct NEKSO and descending to level 90, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Yeah, we want NEKSO.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, it's just come.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, I only read parts of your transmissions. Say again your request.
Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Charlie, 9 Whiskey Tango was requesting out of cockpit for a half minute.
Hopefully you get down to 12,000, then they release you. So I'm hoping to go direct to
out of cockpit approved, descending
NEKSO.
180, see you later.
Eurowings 2780, descent flight level 140.
Descending to flight 140 for Eurowings 2780.
Europa 838, proceed direct NEKSO, descent flight level 110.
Okay, direct NEKSO and descend flight level 110, Europa 838.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie is confirming the MONAK 3 Charlie arrival, runway 22 left, descent of 180.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, thank you very much. Visibility is now 5x5. Continue descent flight level 160.
Descent 160 for 6 Echo Charlie.
Eurowings 2780, speed 250 knots.
Speed 250 knots for Eurowings 2780.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, contact Copenhagen approach, frequency 118.455, bye-bye.
118.455, Lufthansa 55 Romeo, good day.
All right.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
That's awesome. That was the end of our hold. Now we're coming out of it and we're heading for NEKSO.
Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Tango is back in the cockpit.
And flight level 110, so we're level now.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha as published.
Yeah, I'm expecting.
And are the hold for 6 Echo Charlie?
Well, this is, we are on 119 or 555 now.
6 Echo Charlie at
right hand. I think I'm expecting 118.455,
on the course.
455, but we'll see. Maybe you're right.
6 Echo Charlie.
We'll see who we give. He's been giving 118.455.
Eurowings 2780, descent flight level 130.
To the aircraft ahead of me, I think.
Descending to flight 130 for Eurowings 2780.
Lufthansa 9 Whiskey Tango, enter hold over Charlie Delta Alpha.
Okay, we have
Entering the hold
almost 4 tons of fuel left.
As published, Lufthansa 9
So
Whiskey
that
Tango.
we're committing now to Copenhagen, and we still have plenty of time. At this rate, we're burning only about 1,600 an hour. So we got an hour and a half of remaining fuel. We should be fine, so we didn't have to add any fuel after all. No airborne refueling for us. Okay, let's see what frequency he gives us.
Command office for Takeoff uniform climbing 25127.
Topspace 40 Echo uniform, command officer, hvor fanden har de sendt over til mig? Climb flight level 280, tror jeg nok så.
Yes, but previous. Yeah, 2 touches for the uniform.
Copenhagen
Yeah, could be, could be.
Eurowings 2780,
Still doing a good job.
070 degrees.
Turning right, heading 070 for Eurowings 2780.
Copenhagen Control 6 November, hello, passing vessel 310, descending 280.
We're 10
Eurowings 8
and
November,
a half miles to NEKSO.
identified, clear inbound Copenhagen MONAK 3 Charlie, arrival landing runway 22 left. Descent flight level 190.
Okay, MONAK 3 Charlie, arrival over sunny to the left, descent flight level 190, Eurowings 8 November, thank you.
Europa 838, descent flight level 090, contact Copenhagen approach frequency 118.455, bye-bye.
Okay, 118.455 and flight level 090, Europa 838, good day. Copenhagen approach, good day, Europa 838 with you, descending from flight level 110 for 090, inbound NEKSO.
Europa 838, Copenhagen approach, hello, identified, information, standby.
Okay.
Information Echo, expect vectors ILS 22 left, descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1005.
Descend 4,000, QNH, say that again, I'm sorry.
The QNH 1005.
1005, Europa 838. 1005.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, descend 4,000 feet.
Descend 4,000 feet, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
Heading so next frequency should be Castrop final.
And Lufthansa 55 Romeo, speed 220 knots.
120.205.
Now 55 Romeo, you can contact final frequency 120.205, call sign only. See ya.
Call sign only.
Calling
Roger.
on 120.205, and call sign only, Lufthansa 55 Romeo, ciao.
Ciao.
So this is a very cool flight actually. I really love the fact that it didn't go to plan for our departure out of Florence and that I had to empty out 1.6 tons of fuel in order to make the calculator happy for our departure. And it was a pretty tight departure. Adarsh was watching with me. But we made it. And then the climb out of Florence required you to maintain 210 knots, which meant that we needed to have flap 1 extended for an extended period of time before cleaning up. So that was exciting too. And then just tracking the fuel remaining and calculating whether we needed it. Now it looks like we're going to arrive with 3.5 tons in the tank without having to do airborne refueling for the lost 1,600 kilograms. But and then we went into a hold. And we're not there yet, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel in Denmark. Do they have good beer in Denmark? I'm going to need one after landing. QNH should be 1005. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have it set as, 1005.
Hello, approach, Zero Wing 2780, classic flight,
what
level
is the,
100 is descending for flight level 9.
I'm still on standard. What is the
Wings 2780,
transition altitude?
Copenhagen approach, hello, identified. Information echo, expect vectors ILS 22 left. Descend 4,000 feet, QNH 1005.
QNH 1005, descending to 4,000 feet, and information echo. Zero Wing 2780.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what is the transition altitude?
Europa 838, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, Europa 838.
And 838, contact final, frequency 120.205, call sign only. See ya.
Okay, over to final 120205, call sign only, Europa 838. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, standard.
Your wings 2780 report indicated.
Copenhagen Control, run at 2724, good evening, 80 knots.
Delta Navy 340 and the do seem to be 2180 knots, the 55 Romeo.
Actually, 55 Romeo, do speed 200, please.
Yep, speed 200, to 55 Romeo.
Thank you.
Castro final, good evening. Europa 838 is with you at 4,000 feet inbound Charlie Hotel 625.
Hello, Europa 838 final, hello.
Oh, I was only supposed to give
KLM
call sign.
165, turn right, heading 070.
Right heading 070 for the TELEX 5.
Carlsberg. That's definitely a brand from Singapore days too.
Left 250, cleared for the ILS 22 left to 55 Romeo.
Skyrim 1425, maintain the speed until 6 PME, call tower 118.105, bye-bye.
Maintain speed until 6 PME and tower 118.105, I'll begin in the west, 28 knots for start.
Estimated gross weight 67
KLM 165, turn right heading 190 degrees, cleared ILS 22 left.
Right heading 190, cleared for the ILS 22 left for the TELEX 5.
Copenhagen final, good evening, Lufthansa 830 heavy, probably unable to reach a big at 5,000 due to speed restriction.
Yeah, Lufthansa 830, no problem. Turn left heading 130 degrees and speed 200.
Turn left 130, speed 200, Lufthansa 830.
Europa 838, reduce speed 200.
Reduce speed 200, Europa 838. Okay, that means I need flap 1.
Captain Cook, 30 feet, land.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, speed 180 knots, maintain until 60 meters.
Speed 180 knots until 60 meters, Lufthansa 55 Romeo.
guys see all that traffic that's coming in? Look at that, man. Just one after the other, aircrafts lining up. That's the runway we're going on. Not much space in between. Please don't give me a missed approach.
Center 55 Romeo, reduce to final approach speed, call tower 118.105, bye.
Final approach speed and the tower 118.105 for the 55 Romeo, ciao.
Europa 838, turn left heading 330 degrees.
Left heading 330 degrees, Europa 838.
KLM 165, speed 180 knots until 16
180 until 6 for the ground 5.
Lufthansa 830, right 190, cleared ILS 22 left.
So tower is going to be 118.105.
ILS 22 left, Lufthansa 830.
(118.105) in standby. Oh.
Europa 838, did you copy heading 330?
Yes, I did. I didn't hit the heading select, so I'm going there now.
No problem. You can continue left heading 250. You're cleared ILS, approach runway 22 left.
Okay, continue turn to 250, clear for the ILS approach 22 left, Europa 838.
Hello, US 0 wings 2780 is passing flight level. It's passing 5,000 feet, it's descending for 4,000 feet.
Euro wings 2780, final hello.
Lufthansa 830 established ILS.
Okay.
830, thank you.
Alright, let's go into approach mode. I can see my carrots. And we are coming in under the glide path.
165, call tower 118.105, bye-bye.
118.105 tower for the ground 5, good evening.
KLM 8, correction, Lufthansa 830, speed 180 knots, maintain until 16 8.
180 until 6, Lufthansa 830.
Okay, Warlock and glide slope are
fly heading 015 degrees.
Flying heading left 015 for your wings 2780.
Okay, glide, localizer alive, localizer captured.
KLM 25 Juliet.
It's very
KLM
tight.
25 Juliet, final hello to you.
I'm gonna slow down a little bit.
Europa 838, maintain the speed 200 knots until 8 DME.
200 knots until 8 DME, Europa 838.
Final, Ryanair 2724, good evening.
Good evening, Ryanair 2724. KLM 25 Juliet, fly heading 055 degrees and speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots and heading of 055, KLM 25 Juliet.
Okay, now we go to separation.
Tower 118.105, bye-bye.
Tower 118.105, Lufthansa 830, thank you, good evening.
Traffic.
Euro wings 2780, turn left 250, clear ILS 22 left.
Left heading 250, clear for ILS 22 left for your wings 2780.
Okay, we got glide slope captured as well.
Ryanair 2724,
I believe our missed approach was 3,000.
Use speed 200, Ryanair 2724.
Europa 838 after the 200 until 8 DME, speed 160 knots until 4 DME.
Roger. We'll follow with 180 knots until 40 ME, Europa 838.
Just confirm it's 160 until 4.
160 until 4, Europa 838. Okay, I think we can do that now. Flaps 5.
Europa 838 called, tower 118.105, bye-bye.
118.105, Europa 838, bye-bye. Okay, we'll do that now. So flaps 5 is set. Let's go down. Flaps 5, and we can do gear down.
Romeo.
Tower, good day. Europa 838 with you on finals. 22 left.
Europa 838, tower, good evening. Continue approach. Winds are 1701 knots.
Continue approach 22 left. Europa 838. Okay, flaps 15, speed check. 20 knots, flaps 15. Wanted 160 until 40 ME. Or was it until 6?
830, runway 22 left. You're clear to land. Traffic is vacating.
Clear to land.
Okay, our vacate is going to be to the right.
KLM 165, welcome to Copenhagen. Taxi Bravo and Charlie, hold short of runway 30.
Hoping for Bravo 3.
Taxi Bravo Charlie, hold short 30 for the council.
Alright, it's time to get our final config. Flaps 30, speed check, 179.
Hello,
flaps 30. 152.
Eurowings 2780, tower, good evening.
152.
Continue approach, winds 1701, turn out.
Okay, landing checklist. Okay, engine start switches to continuous, speed brake is armed, landing gear is down, and flaps are set and green.
Scandinavian 1425, contact apron 121.630,
landing checklist complete.
bye.
Looking for Bravo 3, Bravo 4 if possible. I don't think that's possible.
Europa 838, runway 22 left, you are clear to land.
Clear to land, 22 left, Europa 838.
Lufthansa 830, welcome to Copenhagen. Taxi Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu.
Taxi Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu, Lufthansa.
Okay, autopilot disconnect. Okay, Victor. Two whites, two reds on the pappies.
Lufthansa 55 Romeo, contact apron on 121.630.
The apron bound to 160 for Lufthansa 55 Romeo, ciao.
KLM 25 Juliet, holding 180 until 60 ME.
Landing.
KLM
Auto
25
throttle
Juliet,
disconnect.
good evening, continue approach, winds 1701 knots.
Landing.
Continue approach 25 Juliet.
KLM
Up to center
165,
line.
contact tower on 119.355, bye.
119.355 for the council, bye-bye.
Ooh, that was a bit of a hard landing. Could almost have made Bravo 4, but we're not going to make it. But we weren't planning to make it anyway.
Traffic. Zero.
See the departing aircraft. Bravo 3 is not a high-speed exit. 30 knots. Bit of a hard landing.
724 established to
In a few moments to taxi to the gate.
Ryanair 2724, tower, good evening, continue approach, winds are 1701 knots.
Continue approach, and descent.
At the gate. That will be the only indication that it is safe to get up and move about the cabin.
Eurowings 2780, runway 22 left, you're clear to land, traffic is vacating.
Clear to land, runway 22 left for Eurowings 2780.
Lufthansa 830, contact apron 121.630, bye-bye.
And wish you all a pleasant stay. Thank you.
Contact apron 121.630, Lufthansa 830, thank you, good evening.
Europa 838 has vacated at Bravo 3.
Europa 838, welcome to Copenhagen. Taxi Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu.
Taxi Bravo and I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Taxi Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu.
Traffic.
Short of Zulu. Okay, Bravo, cross runway 30, hold short of Zulu, Europa 838.
KLM 165 Tower. Lufthansa 830 Tower.
Unpro of me not to get that. Okay, that was a hard landing, but I was having difficulty tracking the center line on the final approach. And
Eurowings
I don't know what was up with that.
please.
So rather than focusing in on landing rate, I think it was a hard landing. I was focusing on trying to maintain runway center line.
Follow Vetnos 3205 ILS 22 left.
Standby.
Okay, most important thing, everybody's okay. On the ground at Kastrup. Keep our strobes on. Gotta cross a... Oh, somebody... Oh, you can see him going around. Oh, man. There's the vacating aircraft.
Winds 17010 knots.
Oh, man.
3205.
I feel bad. That's a whole nother 20 minutes of airborne time.
Heading 147.
And we have 3.4 tons remaining, so we could have probably done a go-around, but I'm glad we didn't have to.
Run at 2724, runway 22 left, you're clear to land.
Runway 22 left to land, run at 2724.
What's this? This guy is king. Press like button and subscribe. Oh yeah, absolutely, guys. Come on.
2780, welcome to Copenhagen. Give way to the.
Thanks all for the support. This was a really exciting flight, actually.
Bravo and Charlie,
really enjoyed this.
Runway 30.
Look at this, to watch a missed approach while I'm taxiing back.
Giving away to the
And I can see both the aircraft that caused the go around and the one that's going around.
Holding short of runway 30 for Eurowings 2780.
KLM 25 Juliet, climb 3000.
Okay, he gave me clearance to cross runway 30, but hold at Zulu.
118.455.
Where the heck is Zulu?
455, KLM 25 Juliet, see soon.
Oh, okay, I see Zulu.
Scandinavian 6, Alpha Charlie, fully established, 22 left.
Scandinavian 6 Echo Charlie Tower, good evening, continue approach, winds 17010 knots.
Continue approach, Scandinavian 6.
APU on the bus. And APU bleed on. Alright, that's exciting. I haven't done a vectors to Copenhagen in quite a long time. I'm glad it wasn't a horrible one. But it was fun. We had the hold. We don't always get the hold. That was fun. All right, we're approaching runway 30. That's why we still have our strobes on. Once we get over the other side, we'll switch the strobes off. And just as a precaution, look left, look right, carry on. We were cleared to cross the runway.
Red 3205, runway 22 left, you're clear to land.
22 left, clear to land, Red 3205.
Tower Lufthansa 824.
Traffic.
Lufthansa 824, Tower, good evening, continue approach, winds 17010 knots.
Continue Lufthansa 824.
Okay, let's stop here.
Europa 838, contact apron 121.630.
121.630, Europa 838, good night.
Eurowings 2780, you've made a wrong turn. Continue on Bravo, make a left, runway 30, hold short of taxiway Delta.
Making a left turn on runway 3.
Castro apron, Europa 838 with you on Bravo, holding short Zulu. And we're looking for Alpha 17 if possible, but we could do 21, 22, and 23.
Again, 838, Castro apron, hello. Alpha 17 is currently occupied. You can taxi via Zulu at Lima for stand Alpha 21.
Okay, Zulu Lima to stand Alpha 21, Europa 838. Okay.
And now speed 234, contact tower 119 at S1355.
Who is that, me? No.
Contact tower 119.
Let's set up Alpha gate 21. Alpha 21, that's what he said, right? Yep. Okay. Alpha 21, here we go. So, Zulu Lima. So we're turning left on Zulu. And this is Zulu.
Nordic 27 Golf, first status brief, the QNH is 1005, release point Yankee 1.
Position start approach, QNH 1005, release point Yankee 1, Nordic 27 Golf.
Yeah, I always get the alpha gates. If you're flying something like SAS, you'll get a different gate. But I kind of like flying Air Europa. I'll get alphas, and usually that means it's less congested.
Good. Good evening. Apron here 0x2780 is on Delta requesting taxi to stand.
QNH 2780, good evening. Taxi Delta, right to question left, turn on Zulu and hold short.
Actually, it went pretty smooth today, despite there being 80-something arrivals, but they didn't all come at the same time. But there was several aircraft coming in for landings.
And hold short of Lima for wings 2780.
You know, I have previously mentioned that there's a rule of thumb that if the aircraft on finals ahead of you is 1,000 feet or more below you, then it's safe. You're not going to get a missed approach. But if it's less than 1,000 feet, that means it's too close, and you might have to go around. And it was, the one ahead of me was something like 800 or 900 feet below me when I first was coming into the approach, and I was worried about that. But then there was more vertical separation. I felt okay. So where is Alpha 17? Oh, this is, oh no, I'm not getting Alpha 17. I'm getting Alpha 21, okay.
Taxi by Quebec and Foxtrot, hold short for runway 12.
Okay, we're going to turn right here. Well, any ATC involved all the way from Florence, Roma Radar, and all the across Germany and into Denmark airspace. Thank you for your service. You guys are doing great. You managed to bring me in.
QNH 2780 left on to Bravo, then Romeo stand Delta 1.
Okay. Alpha 21, I can see it right there. Okay, perfect.
And taking Delta 1 for your wings 2780.
Well, guys, and for all of you that are following along, that's awesome. You kept it interesting for me to during the cruise.
You
guys should know that I am planning to do the across the pond eastbound. I've got my, I think October 10th I get to pick my slot. That should be interesting. I got to prepare and see. I only have a max, so range is a factor, and I'll have to figure out what possible routes I could do, just so that I can pick whatever is available. Okay, I see my marshaller. Can turn the taxi light off. Don't want to blind the poor guy. APU is up.
Zulu Papa Bravo
and APU is producing power.
Charlie, thanks.
Oh yeah, awesome. So glad I did this stream. We had lots of challenges and we overcome them. But my worst so far was a flight from Istanbul to Porto in Portugal. And I had to recover from a two-engine flameout. I mean, literally, it's because my system crashed, and when it came back, the engines were off. So I was gliding down, and I had to start the engines again. Not pretty at all. Okay, here we go. That's close enough, isn't it? Okay.
Efren, just to confirm, Führungstreffer Charlie, release point Yankee 2?
Correct.
Yankee 2, Treffer Charlie.
Efren, hello, Red Nose 3205 at Kilo 3 holding short Zulu.
Okay, parked at 1904.
Taxi Lima and Yankee stand at 15.
Lima, Yankee stand at 15, Red Nose 3205.
Apron, good evening, Lufthansa 824, holding short, taxiway Zulu.
Requesting ground power.
Lufthansa 824, Apron, good evening, taxi Zulu, hold short of Mike.
Okay, ATC off, and we'll let folks out of their seats. And okay. Okay, that's a good preliminary step. And now let's request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
And we're going to actually get a jetway that works for us. Awesome. Stockholm to New York City. Oh, what you're suggesting for the cross the pond? But Singapore to, oh, I see, you're just suggesting flights. Singapore to Sydney. I don't know, I don't have that kind of range. I know that I should be able to do, Kuala Lumpur to Melbourne, because that is the longest route for a 737 MAX in the world. Stockholm to New York City. I don't know if that can be done. I'll check. The ones I'm looking at are Boston to Heathrow, and if I have to get closer, I might depart from Halifax to Heathrow. I thought about trying to reach Kastrup, but wouldn't it be bad to have a disaster coming across the pond? But anyway, welcome to Copenhagen, gentlemen and ladies, if there are any. What a flight. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. Let me take some note down about set times. So of course on the MAX aircraft you don't have to record takeoff and landing times because the plane does it for you. So we had takeoff at 16:47 and landing at 18:51, and elapsed time was 2 hours and 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That's the time you would record as towards your flight hours for a pilot. And then fuel remaining was 3,200 247 kilos, which is not bad because should have ended up, according to the plan, with 4,500 and we had 3,200. So a little bit short, and it's but not as much as the 1,600 kilos that we offloaded from the aircraft. So that was 3.2. 3.2. Okay, so the big question now is landing rate. Yeah, that was not good. I'm expecting over 200 for sure. Could be worse. Let's just check it out. Oh, are you kidding me? It's telling me my landing rate was minus 78 feet per minute. No way. I mean, that's better than I've done in a long time. Gosh, did you think that was a good landing? I don't know. So landing rate was minus 78 feet per minute. Okay, I'll take that. That's also extra good news. Well, guys, okay. Adarsh, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining. It was great to have you as company, as well as ATC Sweden. 737 has some restrictions. Would you try the... No, I mean, I would prefer to fly my cockpit. I don't have a desktop sim at the moment, like I was mentioning to you before. That was something that I was considering getting into. Yeah, I can't try the 777, unfortunately. But, I mean, the 737s, it's all about weight, right? So I've done very long sectors on delivery flights just because there have been no passengers. So I can adjust the passenger head count and try to make it work with the MAX. But I will explore. What was the one you said? Stockholm to New York City. We are doing eastbound, so it would have to be New York City to Stockholm as a possibility as well. Yeah, so maybe that's another one I will explore as well. So guys, well, that was an awesome flight. Thanks for coming along. I got to watch back the takeoff in Florence. That was a close one. But yeah, lots to look at, right? There was the takeoff from Florence, the debate over whether to do airborne refueling, and then coming in to Kastrup, getting into the hold at Codan, and then the threat of a missed approach, but it didn't happen, which was great. So I mean, a great day of flying. I really enjoyed that. Stay tuned for the next one. I can't remember what I'm doing, so just watch my the community tab on my page. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notify bell. I am trying to get to 500 by the end of the calendar year, so any help would be gratefully received. Just that's my target. Okay, guys. Really enjoyed your company, and thanks again to air traffic controllers for this trip. Really appreciated the service. Ciao for now, everybody.